So here's the main topic, right? He says, just quit. That's the title of the thing. Why is everyone in this community, at least all the ones I've come across, if you don't like something about the game, just quit, as if it solves everything? And that's basically what gaming communities do in general. But I thought the discussion was pretty interesting because I chimed in and all I got was a lot of negativity the moment I mentioned resin. I didn't know people were that sensitive about the resin system and loved it so goddamn much to the point where they would just completely defend the shit out of it without even like being reasonable at all. And I was trying to be reasonable. Starts right here. Because it's a fucking game, something you're supposed to enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, why the hell are you still playing? And yes, that is true. Totally agree with that. But here's where I come in and I say, because it's still enjoyable, right? The game is still enjoyable, but could be better if the problem was fixed or at least alleviated. For example, the resin system. I got 38 thumbs down. 38 thumbs down. They all just like, well, no, fuck you, you're talking about my resin system. I love that shit. So this guy comes in and he says, what solution would you propose for the resin system? Okay, here's where I come in. I got 25 more thumbs down for this. No resin cost to the dungeons. They hated that idea. With a double drop if we decided to use resin similar to how condensed resin works. So basically, like, you can go into a dungeon, you do it, it gives you like base rewards or maybe even slightly lower, whatever the cost is. And then if you used your resin, then you'll get double drop rate. That's basically what I was suggesting. So that way we could have a chance to level and gear up every single character at a reasonable pace instead of the current state, which takes nearly 2 months, probably even more than 2 months, honestly, to get a character to level 90, get their artifacts, upgrade the talents, you know, etc. Like, because there's a lot of stuff. There's the weapon upgrades, you know, and then you're trying to get your talents up to level 10, which requires the weekly boss. Like, forget it. It literally takes you like 6 months to level a character to 90 and get them completely super maxed. And that's not counting like trying to get constellation or any of that shit. That's the pay to win mechanic right there. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about trying to level up the character. And then also I added, this would also make co-op more fun since we could help people gear up without feeling like it's a waste of time since we already burned resin earlier in the day. You know, because there's this FOMO thing that goes along with that, where let's say, for example, I'm trying to help my fiance get her stuff together. Like, she needed to do some dungeons so that she can get some talents, or she's trying to get some artifacts or whatever it is. I usually burn my resin early in the morning. You see, right now it's 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm here burning my resin. I burn through all of it. And then when she gets out of work, I go to help her out and I have no resin. You know, so basically I'm just helping her out of charity. And yeah, I'm gonna help my fiance, of course. But why would anybody have incentive to want to help people in the matchmaking system that the dungeons allow if they're not gonna get anything out of it? And that's basically where my thought process goes to. It would be nice if there was no cost to resin to do dungeons. That way we could do the matchmaking with like random people or even with our friends and be able to still have a rewarding experience instead of sitting there going, well, I gotta wait until tomorrow till I can get more loot. You know, like I just feel like that's a really shitty mechanic. I don't care for it, and honestly, it should not be in the game. This guy right here comes in and he replies to this and says, I can clear any domain within a minute and a half, blah blah blah, talking mad shit about how fast he can do it or whatever. And then I tend to have decent gacha luck, and again, we're talking about something that doesn't matter. He's talking about rolling for characters and stuff. Here's where the stuff comes in. So that is ignoring one, that doing a domain and boss gets incredibly tedious and repetitive after 20 rotations. Which, yes, of course, anything will get repetitive and boring and tedious after a while. But the reason why I said unlimited resin is that so we are not forced to log in every single day to do these things, to burn the resin and to do the dailies. It's already enough that I have to log in every day to get my free primos from doing the daily commission things. So if I had the flexibility to play as long or as little as I wanted, I could, let's say, take a day off. Like I have my day off from work and I come home and all I do is just fucking grind. And I just want to level up Ayato from 1 to 90. And I want to get his talents maxed out or whatever. Like if I wanted to put myself through that and do it that day, it should be my prerogative as to whether or not I want to do that. Not determined by the actual video game and the developers to force you into waiting another day and waiting another day. And you know, the biggest problem with all this system in general too is that the actual stuff is locked out per days. So like you go to a dungeon, let's say for example, right now I'm working on the talents for Wanderer. This only spawns on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? Sunday is the day that pretty much everybody all your characters are gonna have a chance to get this stuff. But that's assuming that you have Sundays off. Not everybody has a Sunday off to just sit there and grind. But you know, if I had the opportunity to just sit on a Sunday, if I was off on a Sunday, and just grind my ass off and try to like level up everybody, that should be my own, you know, if I want to do that, I should be able to do that. That's basically my point. But the biggest problem with the resin system in general is the fact that you can buy resin, right? And I'm not talking about the fragile resin. This is something that's pretty rare. And honestly, like for people that hold on to the fragile resin and wait for like a new banner of a new character and then just burn through the whole fragile resin in a second, that's on them to do that. But the fact that, let's say you ran out of fragile, which happened to me recently. I had no fragile resin at all, and I had all these characters to level because I ran the banner and I got lucky and I got a lot of good characters. Then you have to run through primo gems to give yourself more resin for that day. And it scales up higher and higher each time. It starts at 50 primo gems, then it goes to 100 2 times, then it goes to 150, and then it goes to 200. Like that's super expensive. So basically they want you to burn through, that's the developer's idea. They want you to burn through the primo gems. That way, like the next time a banner comes out, you have no primo gems and you're gonna have to pay up. You know, either that or you have no primo gems because you already used it all on trying to roll for the new banner. And now you're broke. So now you gotta pay up to get some resin so that you can level that new character you just got. So that's fucked up. Right? That's a really shitty mechanic. And you know, if you have the patience, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. But we already know every single big streamer that plays this game, they all try to knock that shit out the same day, right? And the only way that it's possible for somebody to have fully maxed out level 20 gold artifacts, and not to mention getting the artifact in the first place, that's a good drop and it's not some bullshit defense, you know, on top of getting it to level 20 and then to also get your talents and to get the, like, forget it, that's a lot of fucking resin. That's like tens of thousands of resin just to get like that shit set up to be able to do all that, because RNG is a big factor in this game. So not only are we battling the fact that we have RNG, but we're also very limited on the amount of times we can do these dungeons and to do the bosses and to do all the, you know what I mean? Like it's super time consuming for no reason. Basically this game becomes your life, even more so than an MMORPG. You know, I can go play World of Warcraft right now and have a better time with the whole, like, you know, having the ability to grind as much as I want or as little as I want. I don't have to log in every fucking day and make sure I'm there exactly at 7 a.m. right when the resin recharge happens, so I can make sure that I'm not capped on resin, you know. And that's basically the whole idea behind this whole thing that sucks. Anyway, so now that number 2, that getting characters fully built that quickly is going to trivialize the difficulty in the abyss. That is absolute bullshit right there. Absolute bullshit. And the reason why is because, like the reason I said before, big Twitch streamers or anybody that just wants to throw money at the screen can get their characters maxed out in a second anyway. So it doesn't matter, right? Like, we can go to Twitch right now and you can see it for yourself. Let's go to Genshin's thing. Watch, the top streamer always has level 90 every fucking character. Look, right here. Here it is. Level 90, all 5-star. Look, we're looking at it right here in front of our faces, right? How the hell do you think this happened? Because he was buying a fuck ton of resin. Like, there's no way you could possibly have all that. On top of, I bet you he has like C6 on like pretty much a majority of his characters. Like, that's throwing your credit card at the screen, you know. And Twitch streamers do it all the goddamn time, and this creates FOMO, which people watching this guy, and maybe they're big fans of this dude, and they go, man, I want to be that cool. I want to be able to get those characters and get it maxed out on day 1 too. Let me go do that also. And then they'll break their whole like bank account trying to like catch up to his ass, because there's no way you could possibly do that in a reasonable pace without spending money. You know what I mean? Super pay to win at that point. And the first thing they talk about, like the people that try to defend this, is go like, oh, it's not pay to win because there's no PvP in here, which is stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because regardless of it, if it has PvP or it doesn't have PvP, you're still saving yourself a shit ton of time by throwing your credit card at the screen. So like, you're still winning, you know? That's the win, is beating everybody to the punch. Basically, you're the world's first. You know what I mean? Like that's basically the whole game here. So he's already gonna rip the Abyss apart anyway, because look at all this. Like, he's maxed out every single person, and you know that they have the best artifacts, right? They have to have level 20 on every single gold artifact, on top of having good ass RNG. So it has to be attack, fucking crit rate, energy recharge, you know, like all the best stats you could possibly get. You're not gonna have any defense, HP, unless the character needed that things. So it's a bullshit argument when I see this, the trivializing the combat or whatever, because people are already trivializing it. And then number 3, doing intense grinding like this is more likely to induce burnout. That's your own opinion right there. That's your own opinion. If you can't handle the grind, then don't do it. It's that simple. Just don't do it. You could spare it out over a couple days. You could do it. You could pretend that the resin system exists. You know what I mean? But that's my point here, is if we had unlimited resin for the dungeons. And I don't even care about, I'm not talking about the ley lines, and I'm not talking about the boss fights. Like, if you want to keep resin on those things, I don't give a shit. But the dungeons is different because it's a lot involved in it. It's the freaking artifacts, it's the talents, which take forever. Like, it's like, especially the artifacts. I feel like, if anything, the artifacts should be like free dungeon. You should be able to grind that shit to your heart's content, because the RNG is so ridiculously horrible that that's enough to give you burnout. When every single time, every day you log in, you do the dungeon, you don't get the piece you want. For example, like, you want the flower for the past fucking 4 days, and you didn't get the flower at all. You got a feather, something else, feather, something else, you know. And then you finally get a flower, and it's defense, HP, defense. And then guess what? You got to come back tomorrow to go do it again, to pray that the flower drops with actual good stats on it. You know, so that's burnout right there. Because I don't know about you, but I get really upset if I don't get the thing I want, and then I log in the next day, still don't get the thing I want. At that point, I'm already on rage quit mode. Like, I'm already ready to uninstall the game and fuck this shit. You know, every single day. The only reason why I still play Genshin Impact right now is because of my fiance. If it wasn't for her playing, I would have been uninstalled this shit. I would have been like, fuck you, done. it's all for her, and that's the reason why I play. And honestly, everything around the game, the story, the characters, I don't mind the gacha mechanic of you know, pulling for characters. I actually don't mind that at all. I like it. And because it makes it feel like you earn the character, you know what I mean? Like, I like that everybody has their own unique playlist of characters. So like, I can choose to play with Miko and Klee and stuff, and then, you know, my fiance doesn't have those characters and is playing with a different set of people. Like, she has I'll Hate Them, I don't have I'll Hate Them, you know. It's like, so that's cool. I like that because it creates diversity. that's the whole discussion anyway. So I just wanted to kind of show this whole thing on Reddit. Reddit is such a cesspool for like so much negativity and stuff like that, and I like reading Reddit because I learn a lot of things from it, but also at the same time, when you come to these communities, I notice that every single community is like this. It's like it's super toxic, and it's super like, I'm defending it whether or not, like, no matter what, like, it doesn't matter what the hell's going on, it doesn't matter like how much we've been getting pissed on and shit on, we're gonna defend the fuck out of this thing. Like, you know, Star Citizen, every single game, it doesn't matter what it is. So like, don't go on to, like, basically my new rule to myself is I never go on to a Reddit's community and complain about the game that the Reddit community is about, because that's the fastest way for you to get downvoted the fuck out, you know, like, because they don't want to hear shit. They don't want to hear anything negative at all. It could be something as minor as maybe like the game crashed on you a few times or something, but it didn't crash on me, so the game is working perfectly fine, you know. So like that's the mentality, you know. There's no like compassion or empathy for anybody. It's all like, it doesn't work for you, so fuck you, get out, we don't want you here. And it's pretty shitty, but whatever. I just wanted to share that. Let's see where I'm at talent wise, because I don't want to end up like over grinding this. So let me check now to make sure. So where are you at? You're level 6, 9, and 7. 6, 9, and 7. All right, let's do some math. So 4 plus 6 plus 12 plus 16, 38. All right, let me write some shit down. And then the top one was what? Level 9? So I need 12. No, I need 16. So 16 for the second one, right? I was put it in the calculator for no reason. And then the third one, I'm gonna be 8. So 6 plus 12 plus 16, 34. What the fuck? It's expensive. All right, so grand total, I need 38 plus 34 plus 16. 88 books. Oh my god, I need 88 of the purple books. That's ridiculous. How many do I have right now? All right, Zingqui, give me some extras, please. Hook a brother up. Thank you. Yes. See, he always pulls through. He always pulls through, man. Awesome. Thank you. And then I need some duplicates of this, please. Yes. Yes. All right, I got 26. I need how many? 80. I need 88. So 88 minus 26. I need 62 more. What the fuck, man? Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous that I have to do math on this shit. Like, you know, if I could just grind this bitch without like worrying, like I wouldn't really care, you know? I would just grind it until I got it and that's it. But the fact that I have to do that, like, you see how ridiculous this is though? Like, let's just talk about that real quick. I need 62 more, and that's after doing this. I did this on Monday, right? What day was it? I don't even remember. Okay, it was on Sunday. I did this on Sunday and I burned all my condense, all 5. I burnt it on it. And here I am again on Wednesday, nearly burnt all of it. I only have 1 condense left. Like, crazy, right? Crazy. And I'm nowhere near how many I need. So that's fucking stupid. And people play this game, you know? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm so shocked by that. Here I am again, going to do the same dungeon again that I gotta do probably for the next 6 weeks.